The Aussie NFL Fantasy Show would like to acknowledge the traditional land owners and the leaders past, present and emerging of Ngunnawal, Ngambri and Darawal countries where we are working from today. This always was, and always will be, Aboriginal land.
This is the Aussie NFL Fantasy Show.
My takeaway from that game is they played against the Seahawks. They're going to be flappy ass cheeks this year.
Aussie?
Well, we heard you were taking a Lamar Jackson style shit.
Yes, Manjot, I like to do what I do best in this world, and that's where I do some of my best work.
NFL?
Oh, hang on, there's another guy. Daniel Jones is awful.
Fantasy.
Yeah, this is predate the Manjot, the myth, the legend, 100%. Because I was only born in 2017. I'm only 5.
Whether your fantasy team has been robbed of fantasy points by a star player laying a total egg, or you've been the victim to a high-risk player being injured at work, you need the right advice. There is only one place to go when your team or your player need representation in the court of public opinion. Make time with Manjot Melly, Public Defender.
All right, we're back with everyone's number one segment, at least according to our guest, Marky Mark. You said it's the best segment on the show, Public Defender. Am I right, Mark? Best segment out there?
I'll hold judgment on that.
Oh, holding some judgment.
Working into my role. I'm role playing.
Yeah, that's all good, Mark. I mean, he did say off camera that it was probably a great segment.
It is a quality segment.
Yeah, it's going to be one amazing one again as we roll into it. I love that drop, by the way, for Public Defender. I'm actually going to try and convince Maddie C to change it up a little bit because I noticed how I was walking yesterday at uni and I was like, oh, I can do a bit of walking towards the end and then we can roll into that sort of Public Defender drop with me in there. But anyway, that's the thing we're going to sort out this week. But look, I think I got to hand it off the hosting duties and everything to Mark from here. So, Mark, you've got to be the full judge in everything. Judge during executioner? Probably not, but just judge. So
we
you
won't
take
rule
over
anything out just yet. Okay, we don't know which player it is.
Yeah. So, hosting duties are going straight over to Mark for this segment because that's the way it works, I guess.
All rise.
It's just me to say.
I rose.
You're always risen.
That's what she said.
I knew you were doing that.
I knew it was coming.
Before the court today, we have on trial Ezekiel. I don't know what his middle name is. Elliot.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah. Tough crowd. You are held in contempt of court. I don't know if that's the right thing, but we'll roll with it. For consistently bad play, not returning the value that your hopeful, wishful fantasy owners have expected from you. I'll turn it over to the prosecution.
Thank you, lovely and handsome judge. Look, straight off the bat, I'm going to recycle a joke I've already told on here, and I'm going to call Ezekiel Elliott Nappy Sand because he is washed. He cannot even stay on the field. He is not in the same league as the starting running back on this team, Tony Pollard. Are we talking about a starting running back right now, Judge? Is that actually who we're trying to talk about? Is Zeke actually a starting running back?
Let me check my manifest. Yes, we are.
We want to check? Oh, we are? Well, he's not because he's basically a backup at this point. Pollard is a better fantasy player. He is a better regular NFL player. I don't see how this guy isn't just a complete backup at this point. He's had some carries here and there. He is running back 38, Your Honor, in 38. He's in the dungeon. He sucks ass. He is not giving you anything this year. And honestly, where's it going to get better? How is it going to get better? This guy is not Benjamin Button. He is not getting better as he gets older. He is getting shittier. And I'm seeing it with all of his stats. They are terrible. He is not getting really more than 15 carries a game. Yes, his yards per carry has actually been okay in some games, but he's still not getting the volume that he needs to be a very consistent fantasy player at this stage. as we can see by the fact that he is 38. He has a younger player than him in the backfield. He has a better player than him in the backfield. And we are seeing that right now. He is not getting a full workload that he needs to be consistent. We saw this coming for a few years. The only reason that Zeke was even a good fantasy player 2 and 3 years ago is because he got volume. Volume. He is not getting that now. And now we are seeing what a guy like Zeke with no volume looks like. And it is running back 38. I rest my case.
Order. Jerry, sit down. Nobody wants to hear from you. No, Jerry, no comments. Sit down or you'll be removed.
Jerry.
I'll now hand it over to the defendant.
Yes,
Well,
I am the public defender, Manjot
Public
Melly,
defender.
back again. And this week, yes, my client, Ezekiel Elijah Elliott. He is a
Nappy Sam.
American football running back for the Dallas Cowboys of the National Football League, who played college football at Ohio State, where he was drafted in the 4th overall in the first round of the 2016 draft. Yes, he has a high draft standing. His college days were great, but
Objection, Your Honor. I'm not after his Wikipedia page.
Yeah, wait. I'm acknowledging. I'm just setting the tone. All right, Zeke is looking worse than before. Yes, we can acknowledge that. It's looking worse and worse every single season. Ezekiel Elliott has just absolutely, people are panicking right now. He's a panic sell. I've even benched him in a few leagues myself, Your Honor, because I know I'm not helping my case at all by saying that.
Are you actually defending him? I'm just checking.
I'm doing
Right now,
some
you're sounding
prosecuting.
like Seattle
We've got
defense.
two prosecutors.
Yeah, under Detroit Lions defense at the moment. Just leaking absolutely every single bit of information. But hey, look, there is a little bit of hope on the horizon for Zeke, even though I had actually freaking benched him in a 10-team league at one point. I actually think there's some hope. So let me just read out a few stat lines. So here is 5 games this season. 10 carries, 52 yards in week 1. All right, they were down by like 16 points. So he wasn't even used. They neglected him after that. So yeah, I think they saw something. They're like, oh yeah, we're not going to neglect him that much. Then next week against Cincinnati, 15 carries, 53 yards. So he had the same yards, but less carries. But then he makes an improvement. Look, 15 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown. That's very good. Very good. These are just his rushing stats so far. And then you got the week after against Washington, week 4. You had 19 carries, 49 yards. That doesn't look too good. But then last week against the Rams, 22 carries, 78 yards, a 3.5 yards per carry. Wasn't that bad. He had, 2 catches, 32 yards against Washington to pad off a few stats there as well. So, Your Honor, after this game against the Rams, I think there's a chance Zeke could be back to his best. And that is just something I wanna just highlight there, Your Honor, that Ezekiel Elliott could be back very soon. He can have a boom game here or there because we saw last week against the Rams. He actually did pretty decently for his season production. And then you look at his next couple games, the Eagles, they seem a bit difficult. They have a good defense. But then he's got the Detroit Lions. The Detroit freaking Lions, Your Honor. This is one of the worst teams in the NFL on defense. One of the worst defenses we've ever seen. They, especially in the run game, they get run all over. We saw what Ramondre Stevenson did to them. We've seen what Rashad Penny has done to them. I reckon Ezekiel Elliott, Your Honor, if you want to get him, you at least, I mean, even that Eagles game, he can have some touches, but Your Honor, you've got to get him by the time they play the Lions. You got to see what Zeke has left. And I think that's the game. And then they got the Bears straight after. Surely that's another game where Zeke can have another good game. I think there's a couple of games coming up for Zeke where his entire fantasy outlook, his entire season outlook could be reset by a couple of good games here and there. So, Your Honor, I'm going to put it out there that Ezekiel Elliott can actually have a couple of good games, deciding by schedule here.
I'll take a moment to deliberate.
Oh,
Do you have any sponsors?
yeah.
I heard the buy just put up 100 rushing yards on the Lions this week.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So the Lions defense is again in amazing form coming into the Zeke Elliott game. So definitely start Zeke for that. Surely, I mean, is it really gonna? I get the Tony Pollard factor.
That's going to be a great Tony Pollard game.
Oh no, man! Don't.
Order in the court. All rise for the verdict. I've made my decision. Ezekiel Elliott, you are found guilty of misrepresenting yourself as a first-round running back to fantasy owners. You are relegated to the bench. Flex, maybe, but bench more often than not.
Whoa.
We
Your Honor.
cannot bank on a couple of good games across the season to return first-round running back value.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, also, I'll add in a second punishment. You will also be relegated to play for the Memphis Tigers, the worst college team in history.
Oh no.
Because I don't like you and I hate Jerry.
Your Honor, I would like to just can we please have an adjournment of this case for at least a week? Surely.
No, you cannot.
Yes.
Ruling is
always
final.
asks Matty for that. He always asks Matty for that. Matty always says yes. Well done, Mark.
Gotta be if he didn't have Tony Pollard, then okay, I would say maybe, but no. He's got another guy there that will just take his job.
Oh.
And
He's
remember,
got a guy that's taking his job while he's there.
and a huge part of this we cannot forget, he is not Benjamin Button. That is the best part.
I think so as well. Sorry, I didn't really hear that because Jerry was talking over you.
Oh
Exactly.
man, Jerry. Oh. All right, so I guess
So he's
I've
staying
lost
on our
this one.
benches.
Yeah, he must. I mean, okay, this week, I will agree with this one, but then there's definitely gonna be a chance he plays next week. Surely there's enough there that he can actually have a good game against the Lions. Come on, man! Like, trust me.
Give me
If
something,
Tony
Judge.
Pollard wasn't,
Give me a
it could
breadcrumb.
just as easily be Pollard's game.
It's like Manjot's like, give me a breadcrumb I can take back to my lawyer partners that so they don't fire me.
You're not doing this pro bono. It's okay. You still got paid for it.
Hey! What about this Tony Pollard stat line? We talk about Zeke stat line. What about 8 carries for 6 yards against the Commanders? Please stop with the Zeke slander, please.
They got a stout front.
That was like
Yeah,
one
they
day,
do.
mate.
They
Come
do.
on.
I mean, come on. I got to throw out some stats here. I mean, he had most of his rushing yards.
Tony Pollard's not
I've
on
made
trial.
my judgment. No further
Tony Pollard's
talking
not
in the
on
court.
trial.
Oh boy. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. All right. Case has been rested. Zeke has lost. Manjot, public defender. We gotta go through all the cases surely of some of these. What was it? A-Rob? No, sorry, Joe Burrow first time up. Oh man.
I
That
own him.
doesn't-
I'm quite happy to give him a death sentence.
Yeah, I know. I
Oh,
knew you
boy.
would.
Like, he's not on my good list at the moment.
Yeah, I reckon Mark needs to be the judge more because he's way more cutthroat than Matty.
Yeah. Maddie, are you even listening to this? Because they're
I'll
absolutely
send people to an
eviscerating.
island and not Rebus Island, an island somewhere away.
Oh, you're gonna send him as like a freaking convict or something. Yes, some stupid island somewhere. Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's just what week 2 A-Rob. Oh boy, why did I even take that case on? just my entire law career has just gone down the drain. Thank you, A-Rob, for
Tom
absolutely.
Brady was in there, wasn't he?
Yeah, Tom Brady was what, week 3, wasn't it? Or week 4? God
I
damn.
thought A-Rob would be right this year. Oh, that was.
So did I.
Did not see
I was in on that too.
Just don't get
Yeah,
it.
there was a few there that were just like, oh my gosh, they're just DJ Moore last week. Surely I can actually win a case here.
I think you win that one. Like that will come. He hasn't forgotten how to play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I've
just
got
in such a shit spot.
He's
Yeah,
a good receiver.
at this point, yeah.
Put him on
he's
Green
got-
Bay. Instantly, he's better.
There's your buy low candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to put him in Green Bay. Come on.
All right, let's get
trade.
the starts of the week so I can beat your asses.
Yep. All right, we're going to start of the week straight away.
Mac that ass, son.
Yeah, so buy the drop.
With what we're looking at, it is not great.
Look, Goff, I was looking at him in the first round.
He wasn't, but I was rattled at wide receiver this week. I guarantee I go last.
Yeah, wide receiver is very, very interesting.
I'm not sure about really any of them, so I'll just say Dr. Google.
Yeah, I wasn't actually, I was thinking about picking him up, but then, yeah, I just didn't. I'm going with Irv Smith Jr.
Ooh,
the
nice.
Smooches will have to wait.
Stitches, I was ready for that one.